Hi Dana, my name is Chantal, and I just want to share my story with you. It started a couple years ago when my two oldest kids were 2.5 and about 8 or 9 months old. And they were both sleeping in our bed with us, and they were staying up late. They were not getting any rest. My husband and I weren't getting any rest. We couldn't go on dates because my kids wouldn't go to bed unless mom and dad were there with them. So if we did get a babysitter, we'd come home at 11:30 or 12 o'clock at night, and they would still be awake running around because they were waiting for mom and dad to get in bed and to go to sleep with us. And it was just something we were used to. We had tried a couple times to get them to sleep in their bed, and they wouldn't, and so we just were in this pattern. And it wasn't until my husband had to go out of town to work, and he was gone for 2 weeks at a time, that I realized just how bad it was. Because I didn't have anyone there helping me. I didn't have anybody taking turns getting up with the kids. It was just me and 2 kids in my bed. And so I got online one night and I Googled how to get your child to sleep through the night, and your program came up and I started reading it. And I was pretty impressed by it. It sounded like a good program. And I looked at it for a little while, and then I didn't buy it. I was pretty nervous about spending that amount of money. My husband was in school, and that was a lot of money to us at the time, and so I was really scared to put out that much money, especially if I didn't know for sure that it would work. And so I didn't do anything for a couple of months, and things just continued to get worse, and I was pretty tired. And so one night I got on, and I just on impulse just ordered your program, and then I was just sick about it, and I thought, I really hope this works. So I decided to try it with my son first. He was close to a year old, and I tried it with him, and it worked great. After 3 days, he was sleeping in his bed all night long. He loved going to bed. He was sleeping for 12 hours at a time. I mean, it was just the perfect story. It was amazing. But that's where it stopped. I didn't try it with my daughter because I didn't want to mess up a good thing. They share a bedroom, and I didn't want her to wake him up while I was trying to get her on a schedule. And so I just thought, you know what, I've got one child sleeping in their own bed all night long. That's all I need. And so we left it that way for quite a while until he turned 18 months old, and he learned how to climb out of his crib. And he decided he wanted to be back in bed with us, and I was 6 months pregnant at the time. And so it was pretty awful. My husband was back home, and he was back in school, and my son was in bed with us, and so it was really crowded. And so I got back on my computer, and I looked up the program again, and I decided this time I was going to read it cover to cover, because the first time I only read one section, and this time I thought, I've got to do something about this. And again, my husband had to go out of town, and he left me with my 2 kids and being pregnant, dealing with them by myself. And I read through the whole thing, and I decided to just try it. I thought, I'm going to give this 10 days, and if it doesn't work, we'll buy a king-size mattress, and we're not going to have any more kids. We'll have 3 kids in bed with us, and it's just going to be miserable till they grow up and leave the house. And so the first 4 nights, I took my daughter and my son in their bedroom, and I started doing the program with them. I did the sit in their room and stay in there with them, and then I slowly inched my way towards the door. And the first 4 nights were awful. They were really hard. I just sat on their floor and cried. I was pregnant. I was emotional. My kids were emotional. My daughter couldn't understand. Here she was almost 4 years old, and she'd been in my bed her whole life, and so it was really hard for her. But after those first 4 nights, it just clicked, and my kids started getting more rest. They were happier during the day. My husband and I, when he came home, we were able to have more time. He was able to get his homework done earlier, and I was able to get the things done that I needed to. And as of now, we have 3 kids in the same room, and they all sleep through the night. And it's just wonderful, and I thank you for it.